Okay. Hello. I am the Chief Fire Inspector for today. I need to make sure that everything around this world is completely fire safe and compliant because we are in terrible danger of our entire base burning down. As you can see behind me, everything here is made out of wood, and that is very flammable if you didn't know that. So let's go ahead and look around our base to make sure there's nothing that's flammable. Hey, what is up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 77 of From Bedrock to Java. Haha, that's right. We're back here on the world yet again because we love this world and we're gonna keep playing on it for as long as I can. So, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what we did in the last episode. So in the last episode, we went ahead and worked on this little build right over here, which is absolutely amazing. I love this thing. All the colors look so cool. I love this tree. I love all these other trees. Man, I need to build more trees with these yellow leaves. Maybe I can find some other trees with other different kind of leaves, like maybe some orange, some red, and follow the same kind of style like this. And I think it looks awesome. So this right here is meant to be some kind of like guard tower sort of thing for the boats that are coming into the shipyard right over here eventually, where there's going to be a shipyard. Trust me, there will be at some point. I just don't have it yet, okay? These guys right here are going to protect whoever comes in and who comes out. They make sure that whoever's coming in is, you know, proper. They don't want any pirates coming in. So we built this entire area right here, and I'm really happy the way it turned out. I think it looks awesome. I took a lot of inspiration from a bunch of different Pinterest images and stuff, and I think it came out pretty well. That leaves what we're going to do in today's episode. So today I think I want to try taking a little bit slower. I don't want to do a massive project. I don't think it's going to be massive anyways. I don't want to do a massive project like I have been doing over the past several episodes. And today I think I want to take a step back because during the world tour, I realized after I visited all of my other builds that there's a lot that I hadn't done in a lot of the builds that I have around my world. So today I think we're going to take a small step back and work on some small details around the place. For example, right here, I want to try to figure out some kind of lamp post. I want to figure out some kind of lighting system because I hate these torches. These things look terrible. So we're going to try to come around here, fix up these torches because we don't want these around here messing up the view because it really ruins the immersion. Next, we might come over here. We might bring in some interiors. I don't know if I'm going to get to all the interiors today, but you know, I'm going to try to get some of them done. Over there on the lighthouse, this thing is missing all of the trees I had planned. I want some trees to go like here, some along here. I want this thing to be like full of trees and it'll look awesome. Next up, I want to finish up things like this area right here, which is not even close to being finished. This area right here needs to be filled in. Same thing right over there at the Roman Tower. This entire section in the middle needs to be filled in because I like it. However, it really needs the thing all the way through to really make it feel good. So there's a lot of things around this world that we really need to work on. So I guess today is just the day to do it. Anything that we have, I guess, like in the background, we're going to try to get as much of it done as we can. Not saying that I'm going to get it all done, but you know, we're going to get a lot of different work done as we see fit. So let's go ahead and get into today's episode. Haha, okay, that's good. Lanterns are good. There's no open flames. Perfect. This is fire approved. The first thing that I want to work on today is my storage room because while a lot of it does look really complete, like this area right over here, there's a lot of stuff here that looks like it's pretty much done. However, if we turn around, there's a lot that is very much so not done. I want to go ahead and try to fill up a lot of this area right around here to make sure that this area doesn't look ugly and make it have some kind of purpose. Well, it doesn't have to be like an actual purpose. It could just look good to have a purpose, really. I guess let's go ahead and try to figure out what we want to put up here because I have no clue what I want. I know up here, I kind of want this to be some kind of like area to like hang around because I know that this, I don't really want to go AFK in like the middle of my storage room because I never know if a mob is just gonna like, I don't know, spawn somewhere out here and just like walk in and I'm just gonna be sitting here and I'm just gonna die while I'm AFK or something. So I want to take another step away and maybe go up some stairs because surely mobs can't go upstairs. They definitely will. My mobs are really dumb. They like to be really high up. They might come up here anyways. So we can put something around here, I guess, just to like make this area look better and somewhere that I can AFK and trust. And if I really need to, I can go over there as well to AFK. I don't really know what I want. One thing I do want to try doing though is to make this place feel like home. So one of the things I want to do is maybe like put in like a nice little living room right over here. Maybe like actually maybe like a kitchen or something. I don't really know. And then over there, I want another office. This time I want to have like a whole gaming setup, you know, because I'm always playing Minecraft, right? I'm always at my setup. So why don't I have a setup in my own world? Why not? So we could do that. We can build ourselves like a little gaming area right over there, even though it won't work because we're in Minecraft and I'm not smart enough to build a computer in Minecraft, but it's a thing. And I think that'd be really cool to have like a little PC over there. Maybe I want to try to work over here as well, but I don't know. Also, I guess speaking on this area, there is one area that definitely needs to be done in today's episode, and that is this area right over here. This building needs to be finished. I hate that this thing is floating in the back. So we're gonna go ahead and take this thing all the way down to the bottom and try to finish as much as we can for it, but you know, we'll get to that when we get to that. So we have a lot of projects to do, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I think I know what I want to do for the kitchen. I did not mean to fall down there. Let me go ahead and back up. Okay, so I think I know what I do for the kitchen. I think right over here would be a perfect spot for it, and I think what I want to do is actually have some kind of like brick type of kitchen, because I feel like brick kitchens are pretty darn fancy, and I feel like for an area like this, it needs to be pretty darn fancy, right? So let's try to figure out what kind of kitchen we want to do. I'm thinking I kind of want to go modern style, so let's try to figure something out here. I'm gonna try to place down a bunch of brick real quick, just as like a basis of this area. I do want to keep this part stone, so maybe we're gonna actually take this part out and we're gonna get another block, preferably something lighter, like, yeah, birch would look pretty darn good. Yeah, let's get birch. I think birch looks pretty darn good. Okay, we take that down all the way through. Okay, now we have ourselves a brick layout right here. Let's go ahead and take in some granite. I think the technique I want to use is more of a, yeah, rather than this, I kind of want to do something kind of like this, where we have like different sections. That looks pretty cool. All right, yeah, I think that works. That looks pretty cool. Let me actually throw something up there real quick, because that does not look good. Okay, so now we got to figure out some kind of like roof for this area, because that does not look good with like a blue roof like this. I think we want to go for something lighter yet again. Ooh, yeah, something like this. All right, now that we have something kind of like this, we need to figure out a flooring. And that's gonna make things a little bit more difficult. Now there's two violations right here. A bunch of torches. These guys, ooh, they're dangerous. On a wooden bridge too. I mean, I guess I can let them off for this one because it's right over water, so it is a little bit safe. I guess I will half approve this. So we're gonna actually go ahead and try to put a floor in this kitchen area, and I think to do that we would need to get rid of this stone layer right here. And in order to get rid of the stone layer, we need to have something underneath it so that way it doesn't bleed through to the this area down here. So I think what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna take some mangrove and we're gonna go ahead and just do something kind of like this all the way across. I think mangrove just has that specific kind of vibe that we might be wanting. We'll just test it with this area real quick just to make sure it fits. However, you know, it can always be subject to change. But I am kind of liking it actually. The mangrove, like, it works pretty darn well with like this bamboo here. The only issue with this is that I'm gonna be jumping quite a lot just to place a single block. Oh, I could do two. Okay. Oh, wrong two. Okay. Let's go ahead and check this out. I think that looks good. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna stick to this kind of design right here. Wow, that actually makes it look finished, kind of. Yeah, okay. I think the only thing we need to do here is to maybe like put in some kind of design, but for right now, we're just gonna go ahead and put this little basis here, and we're gonna come back to it later. So let's go ahead and just fill in all of this roof, and all of this roof right over here with mangrove. Let's do this. So I've done a little bit of work on this thing, and I have to say, I am really happy with the way this thing has turned out. This is like the little kitchen dining, not really dining area. This is just kind of like a little countertop, little seat that you can sit on. It's one of my little designs that I like to go for most of the time, because I just find that islands are really cool. I've never had one, but you know, they look so cool. And these things, wow, I have to say, there's a lot of things we got to take you all through here. So let's go ahead and take you through this little interior design here, because I've been itching to do a little bit of interior work, and I'm doing it in a different area entirely. So let's go ahead and look at everything. So we got like a little bookshelf with some like storage stuff. We got like a little area to cook stuff, like a little cutting board. I forgot to fill this thing up with water for like a sink. Yeah, there's some shelf space like right over here using some scaffolding. I like scaffolding for shelving because it just looks like it's like a very cool looking shelf. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just kind of fits. Got some, we just got a lot of like chest space. We got some shelf units, like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's mostly for decoration. I couldn't really fit it in certain places, like behind this flower pot here. However, I feel like the brain can probably try to like imagine there's like a whole line of it. We might be able to fix that up real quick, because I don't know if I like the way it looks yet, but let's see if we can do that. There we go. Look at that. Now the shelving area looks a little bit better. because the thing I wanted to try doing was having a little bit of a blue accent along these walls, and I think the shelves, they provide like a really cool little design with like this little top section right here and the bottom section. And then if I could get these shelves on both sides where I could see like this part right here all the way through, this is like a very cool little column type of design, which I don't know, something about columns just looks really cool. I like using them quite a lot, so if I could, I would have put them all the way through, but you know, they can't go in the same block with like pots and like chests and stuff. So we we had to like make do with the backside for now. And even so, I think it looks pretty cool. From a distance, you won't be able to tell most of it, but you know, I think it's a nice little bit of a design. Awesome. So there's not really much else I can really explain here. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and start working on an area over here, and then we're gonna work on an office space over there, and then maybe texture some of these walls to make them look better. But that'll be the idea for at least this little section of the video. So let's go ahead and get back into it. Okay, there's no way that these guys are safe at all. They're just in the middle of nowhere. That one's by some bushes next to a wooden building. This one can definitely burn down the entire thing. This one over here, someone could trip over it and they could catch on fire themselves, like that guy right over there. In fact, I could catch myself on fire if I just stepped on a little further. That's dangerous. So I say this is very much so unapproved. These guys are gonna get fined. Okay, so apparently my video file got corrupted, and this is it right here. So if it is a little bit shaky, then don't mind that. And this is a voiceover completely. It's not even what I was actually talking about in game, because apparently it didn't even fix my audio when I recovered it. But let's go ahead and just talk about what we did. So I went ahead and replaced the entire ceiling right over here with mangrove, and I put in a little bit of the crimson wood, as well as made these little lights pop out a little bit further down. I figured that having this like slabbed area would make this area look a lot better. And by making sure that there's like a little bit of an outdent, or indent? No, outdent, yeah. Some kind of like dent, I suppose, coming out from the ceiling with the lights, it'll look a lot better. Has a lot more depth. And of course we didn't get all of the other areas like right over there, which is still unfinished in the entirety. But over here we have, you know, even stuff over here. I don't even know what I'm saying. My happy gas is all the way down there. I don't know how he got down there, to be honest with you. He's living his best life. But yeah. That's what we did for the ceiling, and we also built ourselves an office and a living room right up these stairs. So let's go ahead and look at the living room real quick. So this right here is the living room that I decided to build. This thing has a couch, it's got a table, got a nice little fireplace, got a bunch of paintings and some books, because the people here like to read apparently. There's even some shelves and a nice little lamp. I think this area is really cozy. I love it, and I love how it's connected directly to the dining room, which is right there. And of course there's a lot of other details I want to add in here, like a TV or something like that, but for right now, I think what I have here is pretty good, but I think I'm going to put a TV here in the future. And of course I did it because this is me from the future. I'm just trying to talk like I am right there. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm guessing. But yeah, it connects directly to the kitchen right there. Yep. Okay, me, come on, move it forward. I've already talked about this. But as you may notice, we even built ourselves like a dining table right here, which I am unsure about. I don't know if I actually like it or not, but I might put it over here somewhere. I don't know yet, but actually I do. It's gonna go right there. Yeah, we're gonna put a dining room right over there. We could either put a doorway through here or through where that dining table was originally and have the new dining table right there. But yeah, we replaced this path right here with a bunch of the new prismarine block that we got in the last episode. And I have to say, I really like how it looks. It's a very nice light blue, which is very similar to the blue up top on the roof. However, it is ever so slightly lighter, which makes this room feel bigger from the floor, I suppose. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's move it on. Come on, me. Faster. Yeah, come on. Quit talking about the light. I know you're talking about that light. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about my office in a second. Let's go ahead and head on over. So this thing is actually based on my real life room. My room has these components in it, so let's go ahead and take a look. My walls are actually green. I like green, okay? And right up there we got some soundproofing. We got my little monitor right there with a mouse. I'm missing a PC, but it's fine. I don't want to figure that out. We've got a keyboard right here, which I think is really cool. And I got like my big TV up there. I don't actually have shelves above my table, but you know, I really like the fact that I have my big TV. In fact, I can look up at my TV. Like this is where I'm sitting right now. I can look up at my TV and hurt my neck. Oh man. My setup is terrible, but yeah, I can break my neck while looking at the TV while playing games. Yeah. I tried getting soundproofing to look good, but I don't really know what to do. They just look like trap doors. If y'all have any ideas for any soundproofing ideas, let me know. I also know that this thing is not completely accurate. This entire table would be moved over to the right because my door would be like right where my table is, and I'd have a bed where I'm sitting. But you know, I wanted to have like aspects of my office, but not exactly my office. You know, I can still sit at my table and do stuff, but that's about it. But I'm gonna go ahead and just cut this off here because I don't think I did anything else over here. Yeah, So apparently I forgot to hit record, so I missed out on a huge amount of stuff that I ended up doing. We went ahead and got a bunch of materials right here that we can go ahead and work on our little lighthouse area again with, because this area right here was in dire need of a lot of extra vegetation. As was mentioned in one of the comments in one of my previous videos, yeah, I need to go ahead and bring a lot of vegetation around here to make this lighthouse itself separate from the land. And the way it was before, since the lighthouse was just sitting on top of a rock, it really did not fit. For example, like this little area right here, if we look at it from this angle, it kind of looks a little funky. So I think the main plan for this little area that we're going to work on in today's episode is to add in a bunch of these kind of trees, just to make it feel like a lot of vegetation, and like it's not just a temple sitting on top of a rock. This temple has been, or this lighthouse has been like integrated into this area and has been here for a long time. And for it to be here for a long time, there needs to be like some kind of vegetation that has grown around it or has like taken over it, because like, I don't know, plants like to take over and like reclaim whatever has been used by us. Like vines will grow on buildings. Buildings eventually fall apart and become forests again or whatever if we don't take care of it. So let's say that this is a lighthouse that has not been taken care of that much. So eventually we're gonna have a lot of this area become like extremely vegetated. And at some point when I decide to add in like some of these human features, I will get rid of some of the vegetation. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and vegetate this whole place. And then in the future, when we come back to it, we'll get rid of some of it. So I guess for right now, we're just gonna go ahead and just keep vegetating and hoping for the best. So let's go ahead and get back into this process. Just gotta keep placing these leaves. There's a lot of mob sounds in here. Oh my goodness. Oh wow, 4 creepers, 3 skeletons, 2 spiders. That is not okay. I do have a lantern on me. Let's go ahead and light this place up ever so slightly. Surely this is a safe block to break. Boom. That should light up this entire area here, I think. Nope, it does not. Can we just like move it over 1 block? Like that? Does that light it up? Yeah, okay. Let's just pretend we never saw that, okay?
I can't move on, baby doll, waiting on calls, flipping through stations. I'm outclassed and it's outrageous. And I'll take it all, baby doll, whatever's been weighing you down.
Oh my goodness. This is not safe in the slightest. Someone's getting fired. So yet again, we've done a lot more work, and I have to just show y'all because I've just been so busy. I just don't really get much time to commentate on the things I'm doing when I'm doing them. Let's go ahead and look at what we've done. So right over here on the lighthouse, we were able to add a bunch of trees and a bunch of like bushes and stuff that really make this area pop out. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think it looks really cool. Let me turn on shaders real quick just so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about here. Oh, look at that. It is awesome. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Oh, look at the reflections. I absolutely adore the fact that these trees work so well on this mountain. These guys are really simple. However, I think they're some of the best looking trees you can do. They're really simple, but they add so much. The height to them is like perfect. They're easy to do. I actually love these trees more than like something like this, which I, you know, I like the idea of it looking similar to the painting that's in my mega base over there. However, all things considered as a tree, this is not a very good tree. I hate this tree from like, I don't know. It looks funny. It doesn't really fit the kind of tree that I really like. So maybe in the future, I'll think about the fact that maybe the painting in there was this tree at a certain point in time. However, maybe now it's the future. So now the tree has grown even further. So I might like extend part of this up and then like, I don't know. We're going to have like more things. Like maybe even though this tree was dying, maybe it like came back from the dead or something and actually grew. I don't really know. I just want to fix this tree up because it is kind of getting to me now that I'm looking at it more. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the stuff. So around here we added these trees, but we also added a bunch of these mangrove leaves, which I'm considering for like the main foliage of this area because it has a very vertical texture. And one trick about vertical textures is that if you place them very commonly around a build or anything, like if you wear vertical stripes or something like that, it makes you look taller. So by having these vertical leaves, it kind of helps to make this area feel like these leaves are bigger than they actually are. They're taking up more space than they really are, even though they're like very sparsely placed. I think they're placed pretty decently. I might need to add some more like around this area right around here or like the top area here. I just ran out of mangrove leaves and I've been too lazy to collect them. I collected 2 shulker boxes, which I do not have at the moment. I basically deforested, which forest was it? Ah, right there. Oh, I forgot to chop down those logs. I am a bad person. I'll fix that up later when I go back to collect more leaves. All right. So besides the fact that we added a bunch of trees over here, let's go ahead and take a look at the other thing we did that I never really talked about. So in my mega base, there is a section of this build that has been bugging me for so long, especially since my storage room is now in this section of the base. So one entrance is right here, which I go to quite frequently because it's just the most simple entrance, especially since I've been working out here, out over here, and right out over there. So this area right here has been a very good entrance. However, if I'm working right over in this general direction, one issue is that if I come out of my trading hall, I'm gonna fly up, and this area right here was a big problem because it was all window shaped like this. These small windows really made it difficult, and as you can tell, I hit my head against the wall and I took a bunch of damage, which is not very healthy, I have to say. I might get a concussion, you know? That's why I wear a helmet all the time. And it's also kind of why I talk a little bit slurred. I wanted to bring in a bigger window because I go to the trading hall very often to repair my tools. Yeah, I just repaired them not too long ago. And then I just go ahead and fly out, and then I come over here and fly into my storage room like so. And with smaller windows, which they are no longer, I took a lot of damage quite frequently, which made me eat a lot of carrots, and then I have to go back to the trading hall to trade up more carrots, then I come back and take more damage, and then I have to eat more carrots, and I have to go back and get more, you know, it's a big cycle that just keeps going. But with a bigger door like this, it just helps to make getting up here a lot smoother. I won't take as much damage. So maybe I'll figure something else out in the future if I want to like make it easier, because it does use a lot of rockets. But for right now, I'm really happy with the way that looks. Moving on to what I want to work on next, there is a comment that was left on one of my videos by ShiaMouse909, which was about my little greenhouse right over here. So originally, ShiaMouse actually, But anyways, in one of my recent videos, I actually got a comment from a person named ShiaMouse909, which was about this greenhouse right here. So the original comment was about the fact that this thing right here could have been a gazebo. However, I did not go through with that just because I thought a little greenhouse on the edge would look pretty good, kind of like a shed or something. So we're not going to go with a gazebo, but we are going to build a gazebo at some point around this world because I love gazebos. It's a really good idea, and I don't know how I forgot about them, to be honest with you. However, another little suggestion they brought up is the fact that right under here, we could actually have a really cool floor. Maybe not here exactly, but around this bed, since it is very special. You know what, actually, since this is a special area, I could convert this thing into a gazebo. However, I really like this greenhouse. But one thing we could have done that they mentioned is the fact that we could make this floor into a bit of an aquarium with a bunch of orange fish, which match the color of the bed. And apparently there are 40 different variants of an orange fish, which we could collect and put in that aquarium, which would be really cool. I didn't even know there was 40 different variants of tropical fish specifically for orange alone, and that's kind of crazy to me. So maybe at some point in the future, when we build a gazebo in ShiaMouse, I'm really sorry I'm butchering your name. ShiaMouse. I'm sorry. I'll stop. Their suggestion of building a gazebo will be something that I end up doing, I think, potentially right here. I like the idea of having a gazebo in this general area right here, and we could throw in some fish around there to just commemorate their little idea. Also, another person, Dylan Fulmer, actually mentioned the fact that I could build a outhouse around it, which is, you know, it's something. I won't necessarily do it around this bed. However, I do like the idea of having an outhouse in this world. You know, maybe like a Shrek reference or something. I don't really know just yet. But in this world, we only have 2 bathrooms. One right here in the craft house, and one right here in my starter base. There are no other bathrooms in this world. So that means if anyone has to go to the bathroom, there is a mad rush to those 2 houses. So maybe we can build a porta potty, and people will be able to run to that if they need to. Finally, we got another comment from FBrex, which was to build a huge orange bed around it, which is an amazing idea. I love it. However, I for the specific area, I don't think I will build a giant orange bed. However, I think in the future, I do want to make a viewer comment build area somewhere in this world where I can just build all of your comments and do it in survival. Because I used to do it in creative, and I think I want to bring that series back, but in survival version. I want to be able to build all of your comments in survival in a specific area, and I'll leave a little sign with your name on it, as well as your suggestion next to it, and it'll live in this world forever. So if y'all have any ideas of what we should build in this world, because this world is massive, and at some point we will have an area dedicated to y'all's comments and suggestions. So if y'all have any ideas, leave them down below, and yeah, I'll try to build as many of them as I can do, and hopefully y'all enjoy my builds. So, get to commenting. Okay, just quick side note, y'all. The truth is, I haven't been commenting, not only because I've been busy, but while I've been working, I've been watching Ben 10 again, because it was part of my childhood, so I've been rewatching all of Ben 10. I'm on season 3 right now, and I've really enjoyed it. I missed all those aliens. Yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Do you all remember Ben 10? If so, what's your favorite alien? I love them all, but I think my favorite is gotta be Echo Echo, or maybe Swampfire. What are y'all's favorites? Okay, so this is a problem. This tree completely burned down, and it has not been removed. I would say that is a very big fire hazard at some point, because this thing could probably catch on fire again. Who knows? And if this thing can fall over, it's already caught on fire, actually. So, you know what? This thing failed the test, and it hasn't been removed, so now someone could get hurt by it. I shouldn't be standing anywhere near it. I could get crushed right now. All in all, my reports have shown that this world is only half compliant. A lot of this area is just not safe for any kind of human survival. I almost fell into a hole. So not only is this place not fire compliant, we are also not safety standardized and whatnot. So we're gonna have to talk to the king of this world and fire him at some point. Man, he is not doing a good job. Alright, so today's episode is gonna have to come to an end because I run out of time to record for this week. So let's go ahead and talk about what we've done in today's episode. What just happened behind me? That took a little bit to load. Okay, so in today's episode, we went ahead and got back to working around the base and just various things that we needed to get done. Things that we haven't worked on in a while, and I just kind of wanted to get finished because I can't stand looking at them anymore. So first things first, we went ahead and started working back here in our storage room. We put in a whole new roof, some lights, stuff that really makes this area feel a lot better. We don't concern ourselves with this area here yet, because this will be later. But this entire area feels a lot cleaner now, and I actually enjoy being here without having to look at all the stone, and honestly, I'm happy with the way it turned out. Now, the next things that we fixed up. We actually centered this entire thing right here, which looks so much better than it did before. I really did not like how uneven it used to be, so it looks a million times better. So the other things that we worked on as we had up here are the fact that we brought in a couple of things over here. We now have like a little living room with a nice little TV. It's a little crooked, but that's fine. We can watch crooked TVs. It's awesome. We got like some bookshelves, a nice little couch, and then next to it we have ourselves a beautiful kitchen, one with like some dining area seats. We got a bunch of like stuff on the shelves, some cool little patterns. This is an amazing kitchen. It's just pretty basic. There's no fridge. That's a problem. I should have figured that out. It's fine. Surely there's like magic in this place, right? Surely magic can keep stuff fresh. Yeah. And then over here we have ourselves a beautiful dining room. One seat for each of my friends here that we're eventually going to put in. And for right now, I'm just too lazy to get some armor stands going. But at some point in the future, we will get armor stands going around this base. And I think they're going to look awesome because I want to bring some life to this place. It's of course not completely finished because I got a little lazy at the end. So this entire area right here should have like some sort of staircase down as a way to get to the throne room right up there. Okay, let's move on from this area. So as you can see, this flooring we also managed to change up to Prismarine. I think Prismarine looks a lot better overall. It's a nice bright color and it kind of like contrasts. Well, it doesn't. It's kind of similar to the roof, but it's kind of contrasty in the way that's a lot brighter. It also feels really nice to be able to walk up here and see that there is a door to a room, which is actually designed right after my actual room with my monitor. I don't have a desktop just yet, but I have like a little monitor, some keyboards, my mouse. I got my big TV that I actually like record y'all on. Yeah, this is awesome. Here's even my microphone. I can talk into it while looking at y'all. This is exactly like what is going on right now in front of me. Oh look, I even got my little plant over here in the corner. I love it. I actually do have a plant in the corner of my room. It's awesome. But that's it for the mega base renovations that we've done in today's episode. So let's go ahead and move on to things we've done around the world. So first things first, actually let's go out of order. So the last thing y'all saw was right over here. This right here was the skydock. And the thing is, it was never really finished. Why is it missing a layer? What? I don't have any stone for that. Stay back, stay back, stay back. But yeah, this entire area right here, we actually had to finish up. It was just this single layer right up here all the way through. So we had to bring it down a little bit just to make it feel more full. And we also had to bring in some walls here since it was just completely open. And this entire area right here was just visible, which was really ugly. So by covering that up, it looks a lot more complete, even though it's nowhere near completion. I think I do need to work on the skydock pretty darn soon because this area right here was gonna be pretty big for this world. And I haven't worked on it in over a year. So I think sometime soon it'll be perfect timing to work on the skydock. All right, moving on to this Italian city. There is one building that we did for interior, and it is this tiny one right here. We just brought in some basic stuff and really kept to the theme of this orange bed. I think it's really cozy. I love it, but there's not really much to show. So let's move on. The final thing we did in today's episode was work over here on the back of this base. Well, build. The back of this build finally has something that connects down to the ground, because I really hated the way that it was just floating most of the way. It feels a lot more complete, and it's a lot nicer to look at. However, this entire area right here does need to be renovated ever so slightly because it is still really ugly. But that means that ships coming in through this area don't have something completely ugly to look at, and it's still something that's relatively nice to look at. So that's awesome. But anyways, that's about it for today's episode. We've done a lot of work, and I'm really happy with what we've done. So I think that'll be it. Hopefully you'll enjoy today's episode. It was a nice little short thing that we could do. Just a bunch of little projects around the world. I might do another one of these again in the future because I really like jumping around the world to work on things. I had a lot of fun with it, and hopefully y'all enjoyed it as well. So, thank you all for watching, and of course, have a good one, y'all. Goodbye! Haha!